Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Tuesday, June the 21st. So with the ASX200 here, we are looking at it in two ways. We're looking at it from wave B up here, going down to wave C here. Now we can have two different lows in here. With the US markets, we're looking for a wave 3, 4 and 5 and finishing at that point and then moving up from that point. But with this market here, we still got this wave 1 here and 2 here. So it's a little bit difficult to count this. When I look at this on I'll just go to an intraday chart here. You can see in this particular count from wave B here, we've got wave 1 here, and then then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5 for third, fourth and fifth. So an extra wave down to the downside for this market. So we'll just keep tracking this and we'll see what the US markets does and so on and so on. But in the meantime, we're just going to be looking for this to rally back up to this other consolidation in here and then move down. That's the bottom, the basic pathway for it. And that's really what's happening in the US as well. Just based on that, just trying to move this out of the way. I need a new mouse. Yeah, let's just cruise into here. So the takeaway is that we've got this low and this low. They've both got equal bias at this particular point. And the 4-hour chart. So yeah, on this 4-hour chart, this is how we're really looking at the US markets in a way, a rally and then one more low here. So the US markets were closed last night, as you know, and this move off the low here is really sort of struggling, but it's getting there at the same time. So it's heading back to that medium level, 6,500. So we should see it sort of, react from there first and then try to climb above there. It doesn't matter if it's this wave 4. When we go to the next chart, it'll be this wave 4. It's the same thing in a way to a point that we are looking for more of a rally to get to the upside. So on the hourly chart here, it will have this wave 4. This is how we're labeling the moves in the S&P 500 and so on. So an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as I've mentioned with those markets, it's possible that all of this here could just become some A wave to the upside, then a B wave and then a C wave. Wave 4 is a tricky little guy. So anyway, as it matures, we'll get to understand it more and more. But as it stands at the moment, we're looking for it to move up higher. I do understand that we could look at it as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave to here and then drop. So in that case, just to be sure, shorting under the lows here somewhere will be what you would need to do at that point, just in case this will sum down for 1 ABC for 2 here and then continuing down. So this using that level there and a breach of that, you'd want to be short, but otherwise you can build into the long side, but just try to eyeball it and visually see it. Are you happy with the 6,500 as the support on the intraday? Now it's interesting with the banking side of this, because with the banking side we're looking at from wave B as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now I know this hasn't started yet, but I haven't pulled this apart, but it should come into play shortly. It may not come that high though. Might just come back to this previous high here, or try to cover the gap or something, and it may even go down here further and then try to go back. But in one way or another, I'm just not interested in this market. If we get a nice 4th wave here, we can have a look to have a short in the 5th wave. But I really want that to land, and I want to see what comes off this side here, and I want to see where the rest of the markets are around the world at that point in time as well. But yeah, this is definitely not finished to the downside. So yeah, further to come down. So we should end up down at 80 at least. So I should just move these lower here, and probably also need to update them 1 degree of structure, but it doesn't really matter at this point. We got the message that that we're looking, it might even just go to 85 here or something. You know, I don't think it's got too far to go down, you know, because we're looking at that rally on the what's the name, but on the indices, but we're not really seeing this move up just yet either. So hopefully we'll see that over the next few sessions, and we'll get that wave 4 in at that point. So it will become interesting at this point, finishing this off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see where the ASX is at that point. But yeah, like I said, there can be another low coming in for the ASX, but that means that the bank has to do that as well. Anyway, just a puzzle to resolve, but nothing really to do here at this point. So over to the resources, I'll just bring up iron ore first. So with iron ore here, we're looking for looking at this now as the A wave, the B wave, and we'll look for 5 waves coming down into this space here. This will come lower here. Because it struggled to meet the 61.8% here, that means it will take the low out here. Normally if a correction goes up and it goes quite high to this consolidation up here, oh, excuse me, been up late, early, right, I go to bed early, but I'm going to go to bed early and I get up early. Yeah, if a correction goes up quite high, then it's likely just to come back to the previous low. But when it comes up to 50% and struggles, doesn't get to the 61.8%, then there's a high chance of it taking this low out here for that. So that's something that we can look at. We'll also just need to note a few supports on the way besides the levels. So the 50% can be important, the 61.8% can be important, and the 70%, but yeah, they're close enough to large. This is all close enough to large numbers, but definitely we're seeing the metals, you know, come down, and we'll see them come down, you know, further in this regard. I was looking at the US's XME, so that's metals and mining. I've got that written there, metals and, well, I haven't got and, but yeah, so we've got just looking, and that's their constituents in here. I don't know if you probably know a few of those. But yeah, so in this instance, we're looking at an A wave, a B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for wave 2 at this point, and then moving up. So today we're going to have a look at the long-term counts on the markets that we normally track. So this is a log scale chart with BHP ADR here, so it's on the New York desk, and this is all the data I've got here. I can't get any more data on this particular charting program. It is a monthly chart, and we'll need to call the top in for BHP, RIO and FMG, and we'll also be looking at a move back down for these guys. So basically you can short these markets. Anyway, this is this. So this is also a bit of a classic trading levels pattern when we think about it as well. So the arrival, the reaction here, and then the first high above the level. So then the ABC pattern over here. So I don't know how big this will get, but we'll just keep a bit of an eye on it. But I expect it to be, you know, into this space a little bit more with all of that. And this is also, I don't think that is actually. Let me just have a little look at this. Where do we go to get that? Over here, scale. Yeah, it's also log scale at the moment for this. So you normally look at log scale with the Elliott wave at primary degree or above, and I've got these labeled here at cycle degree. I could probably take them up to super cycle, but I think that's fine. But the main point here is that we'll also see BHP come back into probably $30 at this point. So we can look for short trades on those. Obviously it's at $40 at the moment, so if the 40 becomes the retested resistance, then we can look to short that. But there will be bounces, and tomorrow we'll have a look at these a bit more closely based on this count, and we'll try to find a way in on the short side for this, because you can see as this market's moving down here, we're getting sort of increasing volume on this in most cases. Well, anyway, we'll double check on all of that on the weekly and everything, but today was really just to point out that and the reason I believe that we're bullish for, by the way, is because if we look at this move here of 1 2 3 4 5 here, you know, it can't be a wave 4 then a wave 5, because we've already pulled back you know, 50-60%. It can be part of a larger move. That's certainly possible as well. Yeah, anyway, that's sort of what I'm thinking at the moment. And with Rio here, a slightly different count, but I'm also going to look at it as a bullish count. I know that I can look at it here as an A wave here, a B wave over here, and then a C wave down here for wave 4. But to be honest, I'm not really getting that particular count here, because I can count here, I can count 1 2 3 4 5 here, and then a correction, then 1 2 3 4 5 here for that. So really the best count for this is 1 here, complicated 2, simple wave 4 in the guideline of alternation, and then wave 5. So basically 1 2 3 4 5, and then an AB here of cycle degree, and coming back to the 61.8%. So with Rio, we can also look to short this here as well now. So that's something that you could have a look at today on the small screen. Otherwise, I'll have a look at it tomorrow. But I just want you to sort of soak this up for a moment, you know. So yeah, that's sort of what we're looking at the moment. So from B to C, we'll be looking for 5 waves down, and that would be in line with, you know, and that's already started as 1 and 2. So if I go back to the metals and mining one here, you can see that we've already got wave 1 here. I'm going back for wave 2. So what we probably can do with all of these is catch this structure down here, the third wave in all of this. So this would be B wave here, would have some sort of 1 and 2 in here, so we can sort of catch a bounce off. Anyway, we'll have a look at it tomorrow. We'll see. Each one will be the same but different, and they all need special attention. So anyway, that's the bigger picture I'm thinking of. And FMG would be the same. Well, I've got this. I probably need to do a little bit more work on this, but either way, from that high, we need to look at this as some sort of A wave here and B wave back up, and we need to look at this moving down. So we could probably end up seeing this market closer to the $13 to $10 mark in all of this, certainly taking out this low here, which is at 14. So 13 is a major level, and then 10. So drawing into 10 would be about right. That's 13 there, that top there. So yeah, so I'll need to do a bit more work on this, but it kind of doesn't matter really in here. We just really need to understand what's going on in this point here to make money out of this. So that's the longer term count here for this. You know, companies like BHP, you know the rare earths, the 17 elements for the rare earths, which BHP is moving into, can be, you know, in the next sort of S-curve of technology that's coming online in the green world, can be, you know, bigger than the current mining situation we've got. So I can see a story, you know, for the future for companies that have moved, you know, BHP's moved out of fossil fuels and they're moving into more rare earths, and FMG here, you know, they bought that, you know, they're moving into, you know, hydrogen, building that plant in Queensland, in Gladstone. Was it Gladstone? Is that how you pronounce it? I've actually been there when I was a kid, but yeah, Gladstone. Anyway, so yeah, they're moving into solar panels, and you know, to take on China, and hydrogen, you know, developing hydrogen there and being a strong player in that. So some of these companies that we've got here in the mining are moving and changing into the new world. So that's why I see that, you know, I'm not looking at the whole thing as doom and gloom and counting this as a fifth wave at the top here and we're going to come back down to zero, because I just don't see that, you know. And you know, the stories that, you know, that Buffett and old Charlie, the Muppets, give out, you know, in terms of investing, you kind of need to be able to read the future of things, you know, what's, you know, back in the 1900s, it would have been, you know, electricity and, you know, General Electric and, you know, all those sort of companies, and the folks that invested in those did sort of well. So it's up for us, sort of, you know, crusty old fellas now to be able to see the future. I know it's hard because as you get old, you get, you know, you get sort of grumpy and crusty, and you know, you see, we can see the world a little bit negatively, but we've got to kind of see the next story, you know, and we need to be investing in that next story. And I think that after this correction here, I think that's the story that we'll be looking at. Well, with the FMG, it'll be sort of hydrogen, and so they want to take on China in the solar panel industry. And there's also a law going through in Australia, like in America, they don't take any products from West China, you know, because, you know, that's where most of the solar panels come from, because of the slave labor part of it with the Uyghurs, you know. And in Australia, we were passing a bill just before the election doing the same thing. So yeah, that's fantastic. You know, we don't want that going on, you know, slavery labor, you know. So, yeah, so that bill in Australia will be passed in due course, and these guys will be setting up. So there is, you know, I see little bits of light flickering off in the distance, so to speak. So anyway, enough waffling. Right, so over to the natural gas. So we're going to see gas come down. We've probably got, I've been looking at wave 3 or 5 here, so looking at the other markets pulling down, we've probably got wave 5 here. So we've got, I think what we might do here is, I'm going to move away this percentage here. I'm going to move away that, and I'm going to move away that. You can definitely take some money off the table here if you want, but I just want to monitor it for a little while. And because if we're going to go down further, we want to be starting to look to add to these positions now. And I should have added over here. I was just a bit slow on the uptake, you know. But yeah, we won't jump to the gun too quickly. We'll just see how all of this lands. You know, we've taken some profit off the table. We'll keep the stop here. I mean, by all means, take money off at $6.50 if that's $6.50 if that's what you would like to do. But there's probably potential for more downside. So when we're looking at Stantos here, I was just having a quick look at this on this chart. I should put it on the other chart, my own charting, the other charting program rather than this. It's a bit anyway, stop whinging, Pete. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So it's coming off quite quickly here now. So that top that we got there was quite justified, I guess, in taking that money off the table now that look at it in hindsight. So yeah, so we need to find a way in here. That's what I'm thinking, you know. So we're going to be pulling back a bit deeper here, and this will be the same for Woodside as well. I don't think that, I'm going to just remove that for a moment. So we need to find a way in here for this, and I'll have a look at the bigger picture for Woodside as well. But definitely no long trades here at the moment, and we'll probably be looking for short trades. But I need to re-establish what the gas market is. I know that the energy market, we're also correcting as well, so they'll all be sort of moving together in that space. But yeah, anyway, there'll be bounces along the way. So that's said and done. And over to the gold market. So we've got gold here. We've got gold doing two things. We haven't seen this chart for a little while, but this is the chart where we have down for 1, back for 2, down for 1 and back for 2, and then continuing down here. That's 1, pattern that we've been looking at. The other pattern was more of a, still this is a 2-week chart, the other pattern was looking at it in more of a triangle pattern. So what we need to see here is we need to see this is the A wave, the B wave, and we need to see new highs here to push up into that wave D here, and then we'll have an ABC here for wave E here. So yeah, I'm still not quite resolved on which one. I mean, I prefer the sort of bearish one of coming down, but I can't eliminate the triangle pattern here either just yet. I just don't have enough info on this. So just coming into the daily chart here for a moment. These are the two things that we've got here. I think so we've got the wave 1 here and 2 here, and 1 here and 2 here for this, and then we go down for 1 and back for 2, and then keep moving lower, or we go up into wave D and then we go over to wave E here. Whichever way you look at it, it's not pretty, but I can say that now that we've got that low exposed here, any move below the 1800 would definitely need to be on the short side, and the market could move quite quickly if that's going to be the case, because of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 again in here. So we need to kind of be all over that. So we'll have a closer look at that tomorrow. It's hardly moved because of the US thing, but just wanted to have a look at the bigger picture for this. We did see this Newcrest mining here. We did see this move back here, but it doesn't really tell me anything, because this move to the upside here can be 5 waves. So we'll have a closer look at that. But even if it pulling back for an ABC to go up higher here, I still need to see the ABC. So perhaps after today, we'll have a look at what the price action is. It probably takes at least 3 days over this side to be corrective. So we'll just leave this at the moment. So yeah, I'm not really getting it's just a bit of a difficult one, because gold's going where it's going at the moment in all of this. So this one's giving me a hard time. You know, we've been in it twice. We haven't had any losses. We've just had, you know, break-evens and small amounts of money, but you know, we won't give up. We'll just keep waiting until we see something with it. But yeah, it does look a little bit impulsive up there, so I'll see if this is an A and a B and a C. We'll just see what comes in today and the next day for this. But you can't, you know, it's hard to go long in front of a lot like $25. I mean, you can't go long in front of that, you know, and we have to wait for a pullback. And if we wait for the pullback, we need to have a nice ABC. We need to see 5 waves over this side. We need to see a nice little ABC here, and then we can move in, you know, if indeed that's going to be the case, because we can still, you know, rightfully so, just, you know, continue on down here as well for this. You know, and maybe we need to, anyway, I won't waffle too much about that. Also, the bigger picture with the Australian dollar, I just want to explain an issue that we've got. So from the top over here, we can look down, as I've lifted this up a degree of structure as it should be, as well as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and the fifth wave. So we do have a really nice impulse wave here. So I also need to bring the US dollar into this as well, but I won't do that today. But then we've got this move up through here. So after 5 waves, you would expect an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here for that. So that's what we're looking at the moment. And in this B wave that we're looking at here, this is a weekly chart. So with the B wave here, I mean, the first leg down here is an A wave. Counts really nicely as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for wave A, and then an A and a B and a C up here for the B wave. And then I was looking for the C wave here. Now, the C wave can go in over here for this, and we can look at this as wave 1 and 2, but it's pulled back too far, so that's not going to work. So then I've got to kind of think to myself, well, if it's still going to be the C wave here, then I need this move down here as wave 1 and back for wave 2, and then 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, fourth wave, and fifth wave to come down. So that's possible. If I just get one more move down, which I'll talk about today, then I'm going to have to look at this over here as an ABC here for a W, an A and a B to here, I think. Anyway, I'll have to go back. I have to look on the daily chart because I just can't see it. But a WXY here, so that means like 3 waves here for this one, and plonk that in there. So it's a little bit of an issue. How this resolves itself is kind of what I'm trying to get my head around at the moment. So I don't think I've updated. Oh yes, yeah, have I? Yeah, I have updated this one. So so my thing is yeah, so here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave A, then an A and a B and a C wave here. So from this wave B here, I need to come down to wave C here. So, you know, I can see I've got 5 waves here. So I could label this here as wave 1 here, but it's going to take me too far down, you know, and 2 here and 3 down here somewhere. And 4, I mean, I'll just trace this out for us here for a bit. There's 2 ways that this could play out. So it'd be wave C of B down here for this. Or if I go into the WXY, then in a nutshell, we'll take a closer look. We just have one more move down here. We look at this here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then we go up from that point. So either that, or we look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, come up here, and then go down for 3, 4, and 5 to make this wave 3 here. All right, 5 waves down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then wave 4, and then wave 5 to come down. So I'm not sure which one we've got here for this at the moment. So a little bit annoying. Of course, this move down through here is quite low to this low here. It hasn't breached it, but this move up here we noted yesterday was in 3 waves, so we should be coming down further. So I don't know if we just come down to say 68, or is there another low over there, this low, or just above it at this low here, and then move up from that point. But obviously we can be long at the 70 with a classic trading levels pattern. We didn't get a classic trading levels pattern here, we only got half a one. So yeah, a few little issues in that space. Let's just go to the 4-hour chart, which I haven't updated yet in the bigger picture. Okay, but we can look at this in 2 ways. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 and 2 here, or the A, the B, and the C wave here. Oh yeah, I have updated this one. And in this space here, I need to look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then coming down for 5 here. I mean, there's a long shot I can look at this as wave 1 here and 2 here, but it's just not going to match up with the S&P 500 and stuff, so it's not going to work. So yeah, we either look at this here as an A wave, B wave, C wave, and then 1 and 2, and coming down for 3, 4, and 5, and we're finished at that point, right? Or I go, or I need to look at all of this as basically wave 1 again here, and 2 and 3, and you know, continue down further. So there's a few problems here. So the main thing is we're coming lower, but I don't know if we're going to end up having to use an ABC here for a Y wave here, which won't even be that one. It will be this one here. So. Anyway, yeah, a bit of an issue. So let's just see how it goes. We looked at that as an ABC pulling back up. It was a bit high for wave 4, but I can see that this is all the same family here, so that needs to stay there, and that needs to stay there. I mean, you can short new lows, so shorting probably. It's probably, where are we, 69, probably better off just using that number. That's a little bit, what about 69.50? 69.50. So if you get 69.50 and you see it as resistance like this, then you can look to short it at that point, okay? that will be the short trade. Just keep the stop out of the way. They'll get you down close to 68, and we'll see how quickly it comes down as well, to see if because it's possible we can look at all of this as wave 1 here as well, or another wave 1 and 2, because it did rally quite high. Anyway, that's I just want to look at the bigger picture today for this market and for the other markets, and it's likely for this to come down if the commodities are coming down, you know. Alrighty, cheers.